Hello everybody, hey, hi, how you doing? Jay McCain here, coming to you with my extra week coffee. Today we've got more coffee from Teacapistan. Real quick, like and subscribe if you haven't. Please subscribe. I'm losing viewers. I'm going down. That's embarrassing. So let's subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. The Tested Predator.
Say what? Oh, I just gotta put this in the wash real quick. But I made some sweet tea if you want some.
I'm sure it's good.
It is good.
I'll wait.
Well, it's just gonna take a minute. Go on in.
Turn the car off.
Huh?
Turn the car off. Turn the car off.
Oh.
It's funny, he didn't even turn off the ignition on his car. He's so nervous, you can tell. He knows what he's doing is bad.
We think he left his car running, he's going back to turn it off, then he's going to come in. That's what we believe.
Christopher Cannon doesn't hang out for very long.
Christopher Cannon.
When someone comes in and immediately asks to use the restroom, it creates a problem for us. I mean, you'd like to say, yeah, sure, but once that happens, you lose control of the situation, and you don't know what he's doing in the room.
Sorry, I just paused to take Morning Tulip Blossom to take a drink of coffee for some reason. Chris hates it when when these guys show up and they have to use the bathroom. It creates a lot of problems for us. He really hates it when the guys have to use the bathroom when they show up.
Restroom. You have no way of finding out, and so it's trouble for us.
Can I use your restroom?
Why don't you have a seat real quick?
Oh, yeah, I know what this is.
No, please, I need you.
Yeah, I know what this was. I just went to test it, that's all.
Okay, now to sir.
Thanks. I knew what it was.
What do you think it was?
Nothing.
Stop, back here, please! Stop! Stop!
He hosts it, man. He almost gets all the way back to the car.
I knew what it was. I just went to test it, that's all.
Okay.
I just want to test it. Him and Poppy love the bathrooms. It's true. Can't resist a good bathroom.
Now to sir.
Thanks. I knew what it was.
What do you think it was?
Nothing.
Stop, back here, please! Stop! Stop!
Get down! Get down! Put your hand behind your back. Okay. Put your hand behind your back.
Okay, no. I really didn't. I just
The shoes. Uh-oh, let's take a look. Are they white New Balances? They're white sneakers, that's for sure.
Stop, back here, please! Stop! Stop!
Look at this last cop at the end, barely keeping up.
Back here, please! Stop! Stop!
Cop number 3, just gun drawn, slowly approaching.
Get down. Put your hand behind your back. Okay. Put your hand behind your back.
Okay, no. I really didn't. I just came by and used the restroom.
Christopher Cannon didn't stay for very long. He got scared and bolted. You would think the more investigations you do, the more people would know what's going on and the more people would flee. But actually, it's been the opposite. The more we do it, the fewer guys flee. And I'm not sure whether that's because,
The more we do it, the fewer guys flee.
know that law enforcement is doing a parallel investigation and they're going to get arrested, so
Yeah,
they're not in a
that's
big
why.
rush to run out there, or whether in some cases they want to just get this off their chest. Just because Cannon didn't stick around and talk to me didn't mean he was out of trouble. Obviously, he was arrested by the police and did an interview with the police later, and we had access to that.
What we've got here, basically you've been caught in a sting operation, of course. That's why you're in handcuffs.
I've seen it on TV.
Who were you coming to meet?
Chris Hansen.
Whoever.
What was her name?
I can't. I'm so.
Yeah, but you drove 115 miles.
I know it. I kept saying to myself, why am I coming out here? What are you doing? What are you doing? Turn around.
And how old are you?
33.
33. So you're twice her age.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing it. I swear. I wasn't going to do anything. She kept talking about this swimming pool. And
Tulip Blossom says the YouTube of the both of you last night was the most hilarious and disturbing thing I've ever heard. That would, of course, be our live stream of the Bald Beaver Hunter chat log reading, which can be found under the chat logs playlist on Blue Jay Streams.
Chatting back with me, you know, getting flirtatious with me.
Why would you even have a sexual conversation with a 15-year-old?
I really tried to avoid her when I first met her. Every time I get online, you know, she initiate the conversation and, you know, maybe, you know, flirt a little bit, but...
I mean, you said you didn't initiate the conversation, but actually you did. She never talked to you. You said, hello, Natalie, because you saw her in a chat room.
Yeah.
And how are you doing today?
Yeah, I didn't initiate, yeah, just chatting.
And you asked her if she's horny now, and you asked her if she's wet now. Why would you care if a 15-year-old is wet?
Stupidity, man. I mean, I don't know why. It's just...
When you tell her you'll be gentle, what are you referring to when you're talking about being gentle?
Just being with her. Nothing sexually touching her and all that.
Chris, we've been doing this too long.
Yeah, just...
I understand y'all go through
I just saw you do the sign of the cross, so I know you're probably a religious man.
I'm about to...
And you would probably feel better if you...
If it never happened.
Yeah.
I know you're a religious man, so you'd probably feel better if you just gave us a full confession and signed these documents and escorted yourself to a jail cell, please.
Never happened.
It's funny. When I saw this on day...
This guy really needs to ask for a lawyer. One of the few predators that really asked for a lawyer early on, weirdly, is Lauren Armstrong. The smartest thing he ever
10
did.
months ago, or whatever.
You show up in the middle of it.
Yes, I'm like, that is so sick.
Maybe you need some help. Maybe you need some help.
I'm saying, it's just, I guess I was forward. And I'm a director at my church.
Two applauses of explaining the unsubscribe. That's fair. That's totally fair.
I can't believe this.
Send in Bruce Rivers indeed. Stop self-snitching.
Like a record or anything?
Yes, sir, you're being charged.
You possibly need to get enrolled in some counseling for maybe you have an addiction with the internet and don't realize it.
Not the internet.
We live by it today.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have a serious problem you need to get some help with. Not at your church, but somebody that's professionally trained to treat this.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have a guy who's a youth director at a church. The judge makes it very clear that you will not be going back to this job after engaging in this kind of activity.
I'm going to suggest to you that as a condition of this bond, that you find another position in your church until this is resolved. So working with minor children is not one.
How about just keep them out of the church in general? Like, why shuffle them around? But also, yes, my content is not made for kids.
From this point forward. Do you understand that?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Alright, that's Chris Cannon. Kind of a shorter segment that's mostly police interrogation stuff. And police interrogations are fun. When you're not on the interrogatee side of them, I guess. But let's jump to another one real quick.
The next man
Deepak Bist
to arrive at our undercover house in Florida is a 22-year-old college student and chemistry teacher. His name is Deepak Bist, and he drove 4 hours to get here from West Palm Beach.
4-hour drive. Oh my god. That means he's going to be stranded there 4 hours away, too. Like, how do you get home after this when the cops confiscate your car and it becomes evidence? Like, do you get your car back? And then you have to drive 4 hours home?
In a Yahoo romance chat room, Bist uses the screen name LoveSource7.
LoveSource7. LoveSource7 comes right after, or right before Meat Rocket 8. First you get the LoveSource7, then you get the Meat Rocket 8.
Decoy tells him she's 13. He writes,
"Wow, you too young, babe. You shouldn't be out here. A lot of perverts in here."
After chatting on and off for almost a month, Bist makes it clear what he's interested in. He says he wants oral sex and wants to perform it on her.
"I believe it feels good to the ladies."
He graphically asks what
I believe it feels good to the ladies.
Sexual positions she prefers. Then, towards the end of the chat, there's this exchange.
"You ever watch Dateline? I was watching it yesterday."
"Don't think so. Is it good?"
"Yeah, these TV personnel chat with men as kids and they ask them to meet them and show it on TV.
Oh.
It's pretty funny. You should watch it. But in this show, they send those people to jail for meeting a child."
This is just buck wild that he's seen the show, he thinks it's funny, he's a fan, But he's gonna show up anyway. He's one of these guys that's thinking with the wrong head.
Oh, I don't want you in trouble. How did they find out?
I don't know.
So after all this, you'd think he'd know better than to show up at a stranger's house. Not this guy. This science teacher is apparently still hoping for a biological reaction with our decoy.
Good one, Chris.
How are you? Okay. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm shy. I just want to get comfortable.
Look at the sheet right over there.
Oh, snap.
So we have
This one makes me want to watch Tennis Boy Enslaved to Mistresses.
chocolate and flowers. Very nice. What are you doing here today?
Nothing.
Nothing. So who were you here to see?
Okay. She asked me to come.
She did.
Yeah, she did. I did not. I told her it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
Shout out to the fish in the back there. Billy Big Mouth Bass. I really just want it to turn its head towards the screen and start singing a song.
She's too young.
How old is she exactly?
She said she was 13.
And how old are you?
22.
So you knew it wasn't a good thing to do.
Yeah, it was.
But you did it anyway.
But she started it.
So it's the 13-year-old girl's fault, not the 22-year-old man.
But the fact is, he was the one who began the chat.
You start out telling her that she's too young. You're too young, babe. You shouldn't be out here. A lot of perverts in here. What did you mean by that?
The ones people that want to have sex with.
People like yourself.
No, I don't want to have sex with her.
You don't want to have sex with her.
But if he wasn't interested in sex, why did he bring a lot more than flowers and chocolate?
Did you bring condoms?
Yes.
Yes. What else is in there besides condoms?
I like the rogue can of Diet Coke, too. We could split this warm Coke. We could share it.
So
I don't mind the cooties.
why would you bring condoms and lotion if you were just here to talk with the girl?
Well, she said we're going to have sex.
She said.
Yes.
And despite admitting he was a Dateline to Catch a Predator viewer, Bist still doesn't seem to realize exactly what's going on.
What do you think should happen to you? You really don't know. Oh, but let me tell you something that I know, and that is I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet.
Why is he so surprised? He knows Dateline. He knows Chris Hansen. He knows that there's a hidden cam segment of the show before the cams come in. Why is he so shocked by this?
Children online for sex. If there's anything else you'd like to tell us.
Bist walks outside into the hands of the Flagler Beach police.
Get in here! He tries to go back inside. I'll just turn around. I'll go back in the house. It's cool. I can hang with Chris. Hey, Chris, can you give me a ride home?
You got any weapons on you?
What? No weapons.
During his questioning at the police station, Bist goes back to blaming the decoy.
Well, she lured me, I would say that.
Run that by me again?
Run that by me again? That cop is pretty funny. He's a little sassy guy.
She lured me, I mean.
But under more
22 years
questioning,
old. You drove from West Palm Beach up here 3.5 to 4 hours.
He's over it. He's done with this interrogation. Look at him rolling his eyes, looking around the room.
Chocolates, flowers, and lotion and condoms because you were going to come up to have sex with her. Is that pretty accurate?
That's right.
All right.
Bist is charged with 2 felonies, an attempted lewd act on a child and using a computer to solicit a child for sex.
Using a computer. Bum, bum, bum.
He could face up to 5 years in prison. He later pleaded not guilty. And because he's from Nepal and not a U.S. citizen, his case is referred to the Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Oh, that's the end of that one. Alright, on that note, kind of an abrupt ending, but I want to thank you for watching. Hey, if you made it this far, you like what I do, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Until next time, I've been Jay McCain. Mind, body, spirit, harmonious resonance. Be where your feet are. And of course, as always, stay water, my friends.